my friends? How are you guys doing today? I hope everybody's having a great day. Thanks for stopping in and talking with me for just a little while about some movies. Guys, today we're talking about one of my personal favorites growing up as a teenager. It's from 1999 and it is directed by Louis Morneau. Morneau? Yeah, I guess that's how you pronounce his name. Louis Morneau directed this. Maybe it's Luis Morneau. I don't know. This is Bats. Now, before we get into the terrifying world of bats, hit that like and subscribe button, guys, because this stars Lou Diamond Phillips, Dina Meyer, and another guy who I didn't write the name down, but he's in everything from back then. If you see him, you'll be like, oh yeah, that guy. He's one of those guys. But guys, this was one of my favorite flicks as a teenager. This was so much fun. It has a preposterous story. We have a sheriff, game warden, something like that. I'm pretty sure he's a sheriff in Lou Diamond Phillips, and he's in this little, kind of New Mexico, Southwest Texas town, and all of a sudden there's all these strange, mutilations of farm animals and things like that, and so you're like, oh, what is this craziness, And of course we have our opening scene where it introduces us to our big bad, which is, some kind of flying creature. We know that. We get that. And this film is a lot like, to me, around that time when films like Lake Placid, Bats, Deep Blue Sea, stuff like that, around like a 5-6 year time period, there was a lot of animal attack movies that were kind of made. And this is one of those that, even though it's not very good, it was always just kind of, you knew what you were getting. It was hokey, it was fun, it was, not great acting because the story's preposterous. It's like, oh, there was some kind of genetically mutated bats, and this doctor, the guy whose name I didn't look up, that guy, he's a doctor who's like, oh, I need to study these bats. And so then you have another bat expert in Dina Meyer, who is Izzy or Ziggy from Starship Troopers. But yeah, she's in this, and we have her as a bat expert, and so just the doctor who wants to capture the bats, and the one who's like, this is weird, it shouldn't be happening kind of doctor. And it's just, it feels to me a lot like a film from the 1950s or 60s, like an old sci-fi film. It kind of harkens back to that kind of creature feature like that. Because you've got your two opposing scientists, you've got your sheriff that's drawn into the middle of it, you've got all these, different mutilations and things of people and animals around the town. It felt very vintage, very authentic, like a throwback film, and I dug that. I dug it a lot, and I still dig it to this day. So when I watched it the other night, it doesn't age well, but I still think that the bats look solid because they're like little puppets, little puppeteers. They're awesome little prosthetic minions, and that ages well on film. And so I really enjoyed Bats. I think that Bats is a fun, just kind of horror movie, and it's not really scary. It's one of those films you can introduce a younger generation of film fans to it if you want to. It's not something that's, super gory or overly, there's not a whole lot of swearing in it and stuff like that. So if you want something kind of creepy to show around Halloween that's age appropriate for everybody, this would be one of the films you could do. You could also do Lake Placid or something like that. Those are just a couple of ideas to bring the younger generation into loving film and wanting to experience film. And, let's face it, all of us grow up wanting those campfire stories, those horror stories of, sitting around and there's a monster in the bushes and stuff like that. We all want that. From a young age, we thrive off of that fear. It makes us pull our covers over our heads. We like it. We like the adrenaline that it gives us. We like the dopamine and serotonin hits we get when we aren't afraid anymore. We love that kind of stuff. And so, just as human beings, we like it. And so this is one of those films that if you're a young kid, you could take a 10-year-old, let him watch this, and I guarantee you they were able to build suspense enough that it would put a sense of dread into the kid, but it wouldn't be like when there's the big reveal, the big pop. It's not going to traumatize them. We're like, and then that's it. Oh, it's a scary rubber bat. But it's a fun film to watch. It's something you can watch with your kids, you know what I mean? So, Bats, like I said, it's always been a favorite of mine. I hope it's a favorite of yours. I hope, you're not going to be like, you suck because you like this movie, But hey, it happens to the best of us. Some of us got some weird taste. But I love Bats. I hope you guys like it too. If you haven't seen it and you want to check it out, you can find it streaming on Prime, Tubi, PlutoTv. You can find it all those places. It is worth your time if you like good, hokey horror films, guys. That's it for Bats. Thanks so much for hanging out with me and talking for a little bit. Hit that like and subscribe button on the way out for me. And as always, my friends, I am going to keep making them as long as you keep watching them. Peace out. God bless you, and I will see you soon.